So I think Frank had me go last because he was hoping most of you would have gone home by now. Anybody who has seen Easy Money, you're going to recognize that I'm the Rodney Dangerfield of these speakers tonight. We have had fantastic speakers from the rabbi, congressman. Thank you so much. You have had such strong, powerful words. I'm embarrassed to have to follow these speakers. I am a mayor of a town in Texas. Now, my town has about 235,000 people, so it's one of the top 100 by population cities in the country. We have 6 Fortune 500 companies and the most diverse zip code in the country. We are in the middle of the heartland. Texas, right? Yeah. Arguably a very Republican state, a very conservative state. And you're all probably looking at me going, what is she doing here tonight? And I'll be honest, I have been on the city council since 2004. I got on, I built a park in my neighborhood. I got involved in the city and I was really upset about a zoning case and I ran for city council. There was no huge agenda. There was no fight against any kind of government interaction. I just was an interested mom who wanted to protect the one thing that she had really invested in, and that was her house. My mother, who is here tonight, Barbara Van Duyne, was on our homeowners association and pushed me like you would not believe to get more involved, because it is so difficult to get people to even vote, much less get involved. She also happens to be a family law attorney and one of the best in the state of Texas, and has given me phenomenal advice over the last few years, but specifically in regards to this. I also have my father here, Charles Van Duyne, who was in the Air Force, and because of us moving around, not only have I lived pretty much in every different zone in the U.S. He's from California. My mother's from New York. I was born in New York and yet somehow got elected in Texas. We also lived in Minot, North Dakota, as he was in the Air Force, which is a different country all on its own, and I thought Texas was different. February 2nd, 2015, there was a CBS News report, a local CBS News report. It headlined, "It is how Muslims settle disputes in many countries in the Middle East. But now North Texas is home to what is believed to be the first official Islamic tribunal that follows Sharia law." This was a piece that went out. It was taped at our local Irving mosque, and it had the imam from our Irving mosque interviewed, as well as some others. I found out later that the reason why this came out in the press was they had actually sent out a press release for the Islamic Tribunal. They had created a website and they had sent out a press release. So I say that because I want to make sure people are very clear. This was nothing that we went after. We were very much in a response mode. Between February 2nd and February 6th, there was a number of cases that, media attention that this attracted. There were articles that were going out across the country. There were radio shows that were dedicated to what is happening in Irving, Texas. And unfortunately, in a matter of days, it went from not only is this Islamic tribunal being created in the city of Irving, Texas, but the city of Irving, Texas is creating this Islamic tribunal. I was on my way to St. Louis. I was for an economic development. We're looking at putting in an incubator in my city. You know, we deal with things like police and fire, libraries, really kind of very local issues. This was thrust upon, and when I started receiving texts, emails, and phone calls to City Hall as the mayor, as the leader of my city, I felt it was my responsibility to respond. So just like every other elected official who does not have the ear of the local media, I took to my personal Facebook page, social media, and I put out a statement, and I said, Sharia law court was not approved or enacted by the City of Irving. Recently, there have been rumors suggesting that the City of Irving has somehow condoned, approved, or enacted the implementation of a Sharia law court in our city. Let me be clear. Neither the City of Irving or our elected officials or city staff have anything to do with the decision of the mosque that has been identified as starting a Sharia court. As mayor of the City of Irving, I took an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Texas and the Constitution of the United States. I respect the freedoms guaranteed under the First Amendment, and I believe that protecting fundamental constitutional rights and ensuring that individual rights are not violated or denied is essential. Currently, Texas Supreme Court precedent does not allow the application of foreign law that violates public policy, statutory, or federal laws. However, now that this issue has emerged in our community, I'm working with our state representatives on legislation to clarify and strengthen existing prohibitions on the application of foreign law in violation of constitutional or statutory rights. American citizens need to remember that their rights are guaranteed by the Constitution, and I believe no one should subjugate themselves to anything less. While I am working to better understand how this court will function and who will be subject to its decisions, please know, if it is determined that there were violations of basic rights occurring, I will not stand by idle. I will fight with every fiber of my being against this action. Our nation cannot be so overly sensitive in defending other cultures that we stop protecting our own. Now, I'm going to ask by a show of hands, is there anyone in this room that is offended by any part of that statement? According to the media, you are all part of a fringe movement. Because by you not being offended by this, we are somehow fighting for an enemy that, quote, does not exist. Now, my point in putting out this statement, and it was a very carefully worded statement, I'm going to fight for American freedoms. I'm going to fight for basic essential rights, because that's what I ran to do. And that's what I expect all of you in this room, everybody in my city, everybody in my state, everybody in my country, to hold me accountable to doing. All of us, and I'm sure, Congressman, you'll agree, when we take an oath, that is one of the first things that we say, that we are going to uphold, in my case, the state laws of Texas and those of the U.S. Constitution. And it is so easy when we're up there, and we've got people that come to our council meetings, or people that go to the state legislature or in the federal government, to just back down. And the fact is that as much as I am humbled and appreciate Frank, you recognizing what I've done, I'm going to be honest, I am not a hero in this. I do not deserve an award for simply doing what I said I would do when I took my oath for office. And I would really hope that everybody in this room would hold your elected officials accountable. I am a mayor. I'm a mayor of any city in the U.S. Very proud of my city. I'm also the mother of a 16-year-old little girl who's no longer little. She's an inch and a half taller than I am. And a 13-year-old son, of which I am immensely proud. I am a mom. I am a sister. I'm a mayor. I'm an every person. I had an opportunity to stand up for what I thought was right. And I've received recognition for it, which I've got to be honest, I don't believe I deserve. Because I think everybody should be doing that. Congressman? Well, actually, I want to thank the rabbi. I don't know where he went. But he said people, women especially around the world, are looking to America. We're looking to be able to defend those constitutional rights and the rights of women. The ALAC bill, the American Laws for American Courts bill, which my city council defended and supported. And I'm going to tell you, it was a vote of 5-4 that passed, saying that we would defend and support American laws and American courts, specifically in family court law. That was such a tight vote. But I want to tell you, when we did that, I want women from across the world to be able to look to America and say, yes, they get it. I can be a woman in that country, and I have rights, I have freedoms, I will be protected, I can say what I want. And in my city, we're 52%. We are a fighting force, and I want to be recognized for that. And Congressman, you saying that you have rough men willing to join that fight? Let me tell you, you've got a lot of tough women that are willing to join that fight as well. Thank you, Frank, so much for everything that you do, and Frank, everyone in this room, for all of your support.